Hello, and welcome to Sasha and Goff Live Recorded.
I'm Sasha.
And I'm Goff, and this week we're going to be talking about a lot of commercials, actually. We're doing our top commercials, and we also got an email during the week from our friend from Italy, Giuseppe, and we cannot let him down ever again. So we will be doing, we have a couple categories that he sent in that, actually, I'll just go through those when we get to it, but how'd you do with this one?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, and like you said, thank you to Giuseppe for sending us an email that actually expands upon our thing. So top 3 commercials of all time, and then we got a bunch of these other little subcategories as well. You're gonna do a couple, I'm gonna do a couple, and we are acknowledging Giuseppe. That is the number one thing that we can do. Everybody, put one finger to the air and acknowledge Giuseppe. There it is.
We're making
well done.
Oh, okay.
I liked this one. I didn't know if I would like it at first when we started doing it, and then I was like, oh man, there's way too many to just narrow it down to 3. And so then I ended up kind of going down a rabbit hole. At one point, Megan was like, you sure do a lot of research for this podcast. And I was like, I guess. I don't know. I'm just watching commercials. But yeah, so really looking forward to this one. Thank you guys. Also wanted to say thank you to everybody for buying merch. sasaandgoffmerch.com for everybody. Yeah. I got some beef with the people hosting our merch, but very, very little beef, because I said this before, we get to pick the prices, right? Like, the company picks the prices. They tell you a minimum price. That's what it costs for them to make a thing. And then when you put in your price, it tells you how much money you're making off of each product. Okay. The least that you're allowed to make off of any product is $3, which is what I've set it at. If I could set it at $0, I would have. Like, I don't want. We're not trying to make money.
I don't
if
care.
Someone wants to wear our shirt, I would love for them to get it as cheap as possible, and for me to do the least amount of work as possible. But they say that you have to make at least $3 per item. So okay, our shirts are $12.50. It costs $9.50 for them to make them. So then I'm looking $3. We sell a shirt first day, hot off the presses. One shirt goes out and it goes, you have made $2.10. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, we're already getting ripped off.
Now you're telling me that I have to make $3. That's what I'm forced to do. And then after we sell a shirt, you go, oh, there's a 90-cent payment processing fee as well that we didn't tell you about. Okay. Everything is a scam. Everything everywhere is a scam. And keep a lookout. This week, there will be a new shirt up. The Everything is a Scam shirt is coming soon. I already got the design ready. It's just going to be a pocket thin and words. It says Everything is Scam.
Will that be on your
Everything
personal
is Corrupt t-shirt as well?
Corrupt also. Now, will that be on your personal store? Because you did say last week that you were going to make an Everything is a Scam shirt for your store.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want? It's up to you. We could put it on this store. It doesn't really make a difference to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, do it.
We're talking about it here, so I'd gladly put it on our merch page, sasaandgoffmerch.com. Yeah, it's going to be up, and I'm going to purchase one, and then I'm going to purchase another one and send it to the company. Well, by the way, I love that the company does all the work and stuff like that. Just be honest with you. A corporation can't be honest for one goddamn minute. For 1 minute, you can't tell me, all right, you're going to make $3. Here's $3 after you sold the shirt. No, you didn't know there's a payment processing fee? You didn't know there was a payment? Come on. I'm not upset about the 90 cents.
I was going to say, you're just upset that you had to go through all that bullshit for them to not actually take $3 to take more than $3 or whatever it is.
I'm upset about the line. You know, like, I had an issue this week. I was going to go see Less Than Jake. They were playing 2 shows at the Metro, and they were playing a Wednesday night and a Thursday night. And the Wednesday night show, I go to click on the link, and it says $49. Keep in mind, this is Less Than Jake, who it used to be like $7, and like Less Than Jake is known for not.
I was gonna
say
like if you asked me back in the day, like if you could name one band like that you'd get like the best value from, I would have said Less Than Jake.
100%. Like DIY, get their vinyl cheap, get their shirts cheap, get all that stuff. So I looked at the thing and I was like $49, and then after the fees, how much is it going to be? And then now there's this thing that passed. I assume it's like a Biden era, whatever it's called, where basically they have to tell you the price of things up front. So it'll say, it said $49 after fees, but then it shows you the amount of the price. So like I was going to go to the Thursday show anyway, and it said $42.89 was the cost of the show. Outrageous. And it said $35 plus $7.82 or whatever it was. So it's like breaking it down. I at least appreciate that they're now telling me the price instead of I click I want to go and then they add $14 more or whatever. But yeah, just everything is a scam. It is everything. So I know that's not what you asked about. You asked about commercials, but I'm coming in hot today.
No, that's okay, man. Talking about
how was commercials for you? Thank you, Giuseppe. Thank you for merch people, and Goff. How was commercials?
Oh, it was good, just like you said. I mean, I had I came up with my actual top 3. So we will say, we're gonna do our actual top 3, maybe a bottom couple if we have them, but again, we're gonna do a couple of Giuseppe's categories too. But my top 3 are 3 that I think have been my favorite commercials like forever. So those ones were pretty easy, but. Yeah, having a little caveat here was kind of nice. Joni was actually happy to hear that we're breaking down things instead of just doing favorite commercials of all time. So, yeah, it was a good time. But speaking of good times, man, you held an event yesterday. Want to talk a little bit about that?
I did. I held the 5th annual, the Billy Joe Travis Memorial Crockett Cup Tag Team Golf Invitational Championship.
Woo! Number 5, baby.
And it was the largest attended event of all time. 12 people came to this. And I am so thankful for everybody who showed up, all the new people who this was their first time, and hopefully not their last time. Hopefully you guys come out and keep coming out the way that we do every year. It is a fun event. We had perfect weather for this thing. I could not be happier with how the weather turned out. It was around 80 degrees. It got hotter throughout the day, obviously, but no rain. It was not that bad. Producer Tony came in the clutch, both in golf, but also outside of golf. He made these incredible chains that we were just holding up. If you're watching on the
you can
thing.
probably hear it jingling around here. These things are amazing.
Yeah, 3D printed Billy Joe Travis. Also, they say rest in peace Swick on the bottom because for our fallen friend Swick, who
love it.
He golfed as well.
Who was shockingly there yesterday.
Yeah, pretty good.
And left alive. So
so shout out to Tony, and not only that, but he got the new trophy. So I still have the old trophy, the one that I won last year, the individual trophy. Tony 3D printed a brand new trophy that looks insane. Like it is beautiful. It is a piece of art, and he painted really nice. It and all that stuff. And then he ended up winning it, and so he gets to take it home after he 3D printed it, transported it, left it in my car for a while, and then was able to take it back home. So
now I have a quick question for you. So Ivica was holding a gigantic trophy. That was not linked to this, right?
No, was
that like their fantasy football league or something?
Yeah, that was so funny because we took a picture of the 12 of us, and there's this massive trophy, and people. Megan asked me, she goes, "Oh, did Ivica win? Look at that trophy over there." And I said, "No, that trophy has nothing to do with what we were doing. It's just a random trophy around." So he co-owns, I want to say, a fantasy football team, or owns it, and his buddy Turtle manages it. I don't even remember how they do it.
Okay, I just want, because I was returning golf carts and I came back, and it was just, or the cart caddies or whatever, and I came back and he was holding that giant trophy, and I'm like, he did not win. There's no way he won. Ivica, if you're listening, nothing against you. I know some of those other guys are animals, so...
They won their fantasy football thing this year, but his partner lives in Minnesota, and he's the only one who sees it. So they had to get the trophy from last year's winner, who lives in like Joliet or whatever.
Jeez.
And then now they're transferring it over, but Ivica will see turtles. So it was a whole big thing. It had nothing to do with the Billy Joe Travis, but was hilarious. I sent an apology to our friend SWK, rest in peace, because I went hard on him. He had some complaints about the podcast. He did not like our comedy bracket. He did not like the fact that Jim Norton was not involved. He hated that Sinbad was involved, and all kinds of things. So I was going hard at Swick all day yesterday. And then I felt bad, and I was like, you should just like leave us emails, because he's one of the funniest people I know. And, he would make this podcast significantly better. But anyway, awesome to see him and Dogan and everybody. It was fantastic. And so, like I said, producer Tony was our solo champion. The way we do it, we have a solo champion, and then we have a tag team champion. So everybody has partners. With 12 people, we were able to have 6 teams, which was crazy. That's the most we've ever had. Tony shot a 35 and ended up winning. So he got to keep the trophy. This is the 4th time in 5 years that Tony has won. Clearly the best out of all of us. However, dear friend of the pod, Shug, also showed up. And I got to golf with Shug and talk to Shug and meet Shug again for the first time or second time or whatever it is. And Shug is the man. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. And he's a very good golfer. And I said this yesterday while our group was going, like, he hit this one shot on that really long hole, like with his driver or whatever it was. Yeah. That was like maybe the best shot like I've ever seen hit a club. Now that says a lot about the people that I golf with. We're all clowns and we can't hit correctly or whatever. And that's part of the fun. But yeah, Shug was awesome. And Shug came in and he shot a 36. Which is the 3rd best score in the history of this thing. And he came in 2nd place.
And just happened to lose to the 2nd best
best score of all time. So literally any other year, Shug would have won the tournament. This year he came in 2nd, so he won a used toaster from the trunk of my car. Shug, you could throw that out. I was going to send it to Goodwill or whatever. You don't have to keep it, but I thought it was funny to give a... What do they call it? Like a partying prize or a...
you didn't win. Like a door prize.
A door prize,
Or, a parting gift, whatever. Consolation prize.
But Shug was the man, and, he got screwed. So, out of 41 total rounds of golf that we've played since the beginning of this thing, 41 total people have scored, whatever on this... in this tournament, and he had the 3rd best out of those 41. And
I know. I mean,
to the 2nd best. It was crazy.
That's why when you asked me, you're like, "Would you think he'd want to come with?" And I was like, "I mean, he golfs, man. Like, I knew he would have fun. I just wasn't sure if he would think we're like too goofy." But he sounds like he had a lot of fun, And I mean,
I hope he had a lot of fun.
And trying to.
He texted me. He said he had a lot of fun, and by the way, that's Tony's best score he's ever recorded in this thing too. Previous was either a 37 or a 39. I don't remember which one off the top of my head. But this was Tony's best score ever in any of the rounds he's played, and the Billy Joe Travis as well. Then you go to the tag team part of it, where we're all partnered up with people. And Tony and Putski dominated. They shot an 80. The next best score was a 92. And I was like, 80 is insane. How did they shoot an 80? I think 89 was the previous best record for a tag team. And they beat it by 9 strokes. They got an 80. So then I'm looking deeper and I see, okay, Tony scored the best he's ever scored. Putski shot a 45, which is the best he has ever scored on this thing. And so that'll do it. So they destroyed everybody. So congratulations to them.
Damn, congrats, guys.
We got some Mexican food afterwards, and then I took like an hour and a half long nap, and the sun destroyed me. I don't know how you're feeling. Give me your thoughts on the Billy Joe Travis.
Oh, man, I had a blast. I really did. I'm a literal redneck now. I don't know if you can see because I have a weird, you can see the line right here. I did. Yeah, same. Yeah, you got it bad. But no, I'll take that, man, over the humidity or if it would have rained in the morning and we'd be kind of basking in that, it would have really sucked. But no, it was perfect because I know when you sent out the original text about a week ago, you were letting everyone know it's like, yeah, it might suck. The weather's going to be kind of cruddy, but just dress accordingly. And a week out, we should have known. It's like, that doesn't really matter. But either way, it was perfect weather. When I got there, saw a few of you guys. Nothing against anyone who was there, any of the newcomers, but I got to say, Val, I was so excited to see you. I don't even know if he listens to this podcast or if you text him or whatever, because like he somehow knew about the tournament. Maybe Swig told him. But either way, I was so happy to see Val, and then to be I kind of fucked him over because I called him as my teammate, and he probably could have. He had the third best score, right?
I think he shot like a 40 or something. Yeah, he was.
Okay. Because he was dominating our group. Because it was me, Val, Swick, and Dogan. And let me tell you, man, you can put me with that group anytime. That's just like, three dudes like I love hanging out with, and I used to work with Val and Swick, and geez, and then it was funny. I was talking to Tony and Putski, when we were having lunch, and it was like on my way driving from the golf tournament to the Mexican restaurant, I'm just like, I was thinking of like the DCWA days, and I'm just like, man, I'm with like 7 of the craziest sons of bitches that I know. Not anymore, but I mean, it's it's obviously you guys don't still wrestle, but it's just hilarious. And then when we're sitting there and I'm looking at the table, and it's just like, this is like half the DCWA Federation.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. It
could have been a reunion for the DCWA. Also, like 2 others, Bluff and Bishop, are in town. We could have had even more of us, like, right there. It is kind of interesting seeing the, like, group dynamics, because it's, like, people from every aspect of my life or whatever. It's, like, okay, close friends, DCWA guys, John, close friend who's in Egro Willie, Shug, new to the group, Val, I mean, I've known Val for a long time. I haven't talked to him in a while. I was trying to get him last year to come out, and he said he couldn't because he coaches like his kids' baseball teams or whatever. And so this year he came out because his kids' baseball team was eliminated from the playoffs, so he didn't have to coach them. So I was like, woo! Oh, awesome. Do that every year.
Val, kind of like Wabich, is like a sneaky good athlete.
Yeah,
like just nothing against like their appearance or anything, but it's one of those things where you're like, oh shit, like he's because like Val was an awesome bowler. I think Val like has a legit 300 game. Like when I talked at our accomplishments, I had that fake one. Like I think Val's got like at least 1 or 2. He's also a very accomplished Tetris player, but I mean like that's the only thing that kind of sucks about that, though, when we have groups this big, is that, like, I'm watching you and Shug from, like, 200 yards away, It's just like, I wonder what they're talking about. It's like, man, I wish I could be a part of that, because it's like, but either way, like I've known Shug for over 10 years, because I work with him. So it was awesome that you finally, you guys got to meet. And when like at the end we were standing around, he's like, oh, that's producer Tony over there, because he just knows the names. So I had to introduce everyone by their nickname, because like I think everyone that was there yesterday has been called out at least once on the podcast. And I love that Sasha's the only one that gets to keep his normal name. Everyone else, well, I guess Santino, but everyone else has either a last name or a DCWA name or an abbreviated name like Swick.
Well,
I guess
either way,
not abbreviated. Yeah.
I was on cloud 9, man. I had a great time. Everything worked out perfectly in my mind, and hopefully next year, we could have just as good a luck and keep this thing going for year 6, which is stupid and awesome at the same time.
No, it really is. I was thinking about it today, though, man. It's like, it's awesome that you do that. It's one time a year, and it's just like, I know you get together with some of these guys like individually, but why not? I mean, like, you throw it out there, and whoever shows up, and I don't know. I think it's an awesome idea. It's a lot of fun. I love hearing your speeches, because I know how, like, you have so much fun with this, but like, people like Shug and Val, like the newcomers, are just like, God, this is so, like, I don't know, I don't want to look like an idiot, but I was talking to Joni about that, just like our group of friends, it's like, this is the kind of shit we're used to. I mean, just like wacky stuff, like, Yeah, I don't know. I like on Bitter March, your old podcast, when you guys would do like giveaways, and it was just like piles of crap that was like in the corner of your room, and it was still like, hell yeah, I won, know. And I just know you love doing stuff like that. So I texted you right afterwards because I don't think I said it in person. But again, thank you, man. It was a lot of fun, and it always is. So.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where you're like, we should do this 4 times a year, but then you're like, I think it would lose some of its luster if we did it 4 times a year. If it's once a year, it's like I don't even think half the people like to golf. They're just like, all right, we're going to golf, we're going to get together.
I told no less than 2 people yesterday that I hate golf. Like, people outside of it. Like, one of them, because I stopped at a couple garage sales on the way, and someone's just like, you like golf? And I'm like, I'm on my way to golf. I don't like golfing, but I'm going. Another guy, too, he saw me, because I made the joke yesterday, but it's totally true. Anytime my neighbors see me in the front lawn at like 7 a.m. with the golf clubs out, they know it's your tournament, because I'm just like swinging at weeds, and I don't do that. Like, literally the golf clubs go up in the rafters in my garage after this day, and then they come down, like the night before.
Another favorite part of mine was everybody telling me that their golf clubs were where they left them after last year's event, and then they pulled them out and they're covered.
Except Shug.
Yeah, Shug is just a regular golfer. Everybody else, there's cobwebs and stuff all over the place, and like spider nests and all that kind of stuff. And we're just like, whatever, just spray it down.
I also felt bad too, because right before we started, Shug gave me like a personalized tee, like some he had made or brought or whatever. I left it after the first hole. So he handed it back to me when we finished hole 9, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. Because like right when we got to hole 2, I remembered, I was like, crap. Because I'm really bad at picking the tees back up. Like I leave them every single time. And
we found it immediately, and everyone was like, no, we still have ours. And he's like, it's probably Goff.
Yeah, it was. Again, I bet every hole you got to, one of my tees was in there from before, so... Yeah. No, and I say that I hate golf. I don't hate golf at all. I just got to get better at it. But it's fun, man. Because like I did have a really, really good shot. One good shot, and that's when it just happened that all of you guys, like when on the 9th hole when I got the one right on the green, it was like woohoo! That was like it's literally my best shot of the day. So when you get a good shot off, it's a really good feeling. So.
Especially on the last hole when you're going home, you're like, all right, maybe I'll come back next year.
Yeah, as Swix his ball was still bouncing around the parking lot.
I also had a pretty big week otherwise, I guess. Maybe not big, but like did a bunch of other stuff, so I may as well get it out here really quick. Wednesday, my mom came back from Serbia. She was in Serbia for like almost a month. And so she came back. She got me like a Partizan soccer jersey. She got this red hat.
Did she go back with your cousin or what? Because like I feel like your cousin was here like more recent than that.
Yeah, she had to stay for like 2 weeks or so after that for Serbian stuff. And then she ended up going. But it was crazy because my mom went. So like every year my mom says she's going to go to Serbia. And I go, yeah, whatever. Because she never goes. It's always just like, I was going to go, but then, it started raining, and so the whole summer was wasted or whatever. And so this year, she said, I'm thinking of going. And I was like, if you're really thinking of going, just go. And she's like, well, somebody has to water the plants. And I'm like, we'll water the plants. Like, she doesn't travel with my dad. Like, my dad's going to be home. He's going to be working. I'll do the stuff. I'll come over, whatever. I go, you're just creating excuses for you not to go, basically, is what you're doing. So if you want to go, go. And otherwise, I don't want to hear it, is basically what I said. Yeah.
Damn. So you basically sent your mom to Serbia.
Well,
she's like, I don't want to go.
So then she was like, okay, yeah, you know what? I needed that push. I needed that push to say, you know what? Forget about the things at home. I'm going to go because I want to go to Serbia, and I want to see family, and I want to go see graves of people who have passed and all that stuff. And she hasn't been in many years. So she decided to go. Then when she was on her way leaving to go to Serbia, I was like, oh my God, I made my mom travel alone to Europe for 3 weeks in a no offense, Serbia, but horrible country that you have to drive to like the farmland deep into the country on 1-lane roads. And it's a beautiful country, but it's just like there's a lot there that's going on. And it's my mom. She's an older lady. She's not a good driver in the first place. So like I'm a little worried about that and about her traveling. And, she calls me because she's always getting scammed on her phone. I don't want her to get scammed in person over there. So it's like your mom's traveling alone. And if something happens, it's my fault because I'm the one who forced her to go to this.
You sent her there, you son of a bitch.
So she got there, and we were talking the entire time on Viber and WhatsApp and all those different random apps, and so she finally came back and brought presents, and now I can sleep at night. So that was cool. On Thursday was the night I was going to go see Less Than Jake, but then it was also the night that Callie was getting her stitches out, her sutures or whatever. Okay. And so we went and we did that, and that's crazy. We have to give medicine to Callie to calm her down the night before she goes to the vet. I don't know if Lucy's ever had to do that.
No, not to that extent, no.
Callie, we have to give her drugs for 2 days in a row, and then she's cool, and then she comes home and she sleeps the entire day because she's on drugs. But now with these things, we haven't been able to give her drugs because she's already on other medicines and stuff. So she's freaking out at these places. And there's one girl who works at the vet who she likes, and she lets her hold her and everything. And so we're so lucky to have this girl who works there. Yeah. And then we found out that girl's husband works for Homeland Security. And I'm like, whoa, which part of Homeland? So then it was a whole, I'm getting political. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Because you're cool. But,
yeah.
How cool. But anyway, no, she's the best, and I didn't do any of that stuff, and I should delete.
Which is one thing I'll throw in actually, which was kind of funny. I was I had to get my brakes done recently, and for whatever reason, I was looking at the hours for this place, and Juneteenth was the longest day that they were open. Wow. I don't know if they're just open late on Thursdays, but I thought it was really weird that it's that's a federal holiday. It's we're working later, boys. Yeah, maybe that's a good strategy, though. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, that's well worth the interruption. Callie got her stuff out, and she's hopefully coming back to normal. Although, literally right before we recorded this, Megan was she came into this room where I record, which is weird. She's always staying away and doesn't try to bother this high-level production that me and you have.
Yeah.
And so
even when we have the on-air sign on.
She was like, hey, is Callie leaking over here? We didn't, from one of her, open wounds or whatever. So we had to check that before. So I don't know. I don't think so. But I also have been recording ever since then. So I don't know what's going on with Callie currently.
Oh, God.
Friday night, went to Wooddale Fest in Wooddale, Illinois. Why?
Jeez.
Found out Everclear was playing.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah. So I went to that. That was something. Me and Megan went. I kind of forced her to go because I just don't like being home. I know that sounds weird or whatever, but it's Friday night. It's the summer. Let's go out. Let's do something.
Yeah.
And so we went. We got some corn glizzies. Unfortunately, she wouldn't let me double fist. I wanted to double fist the corn glizzies, and she was like, do you know how much sodium is in a corn glizzy? And I was like, I don't know, but how much are the glizzies? There's a whole big thing with the glizzies. There was also I should have done this. I think it would have been funny. Everclear was playing, and the back of the stage was a main road that was closed off, and nobody was there. But you can walk there, people were walking by or whatever. So I wanted to do a video where I was I'm here backstage at the Everclear show, and they're playing, right behind me, and then Megan cuts to the middle of the street that's just wide open, and anybody could be there.
You should have done that.
I should have done it. I felt, it's stupid or whatever, but also I am stupid, so I thought it would have been funny, and I half forgot, and parking sucked, and they were already playing, so I was I want to go see them play and all that stuff. They were not that great. Everclear hasn't been great the 2 times I've seen them, but the guy has MS, so I don't know.
Wait, you've only seen them twice?
Yeah, I never saw them back in the day.
I feel like it would have been way more times.
I've only seen them play in 2 fests, Schaumburg Fest and Wooddale Fest, and he's had MS for 7 years, and I don't know if that affects how they play. But if it doesn't, then they're not that good live, in my opinion. But I love Everclear. I love their music. I love their songwriting. I love their CDs and stuff like that. So it was a good show. I was still happy that we went. They played for like an hour and 15 minutes or something ridiculous. But man, Fest people, woof. Woof. One guy had a Korn shirt on. It was horrible. It was.
So did you have to pay to get in, or was it
no like free parking, free fest? This is my kind of city.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the Fest people who showed up to this fest, love it. Free for everybody. They didn't give it an asterisk and say, "Oh, it was $6 if you want to see the band," or "Oh, there's a 90-cent processing fee when you walk in. We need your car."
Fuckers.
None of that. Free everything. City of Wooddale, you guys know how to do it. Bring back Everclear. This Friday, Arlington Heights Fest, Dishwalla's playing. Wednesday at the Bottom Lounge, Tripping Daisy's playing. It's 1993 all over again, my friend. I love it.
We did it.
And then today was a magical day. We went to Long Grove Strawberry Fest in Long Grove, Illinois. And Megan participated in a strawberry rhubarb apple pie eating contest.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, she disappointed the family. She let us down. She let us down. She came in third place.
Third?
And,
out of how many?
8. But the last 2 times she's come in second place. And that's where her problem came in, because she literally she was getting cocky. And she literally said to the guy hosting, "I don't want to toot my own horn, but I've come in second place." The second she said toot my own horn, I said, "This is it." And she knows what she's done. I'm not being harsh on her. I'm proud of her. She did very good, but there's a theory that goes along with the pie eating, and her head was not in the game. Her head was receiving the $10 gift certificate to the food court. That's what it was, and that's what you win if you win the thing. You win more food. And so she was
eyes on the prize, and that hurt her. Now, did she lose to any people with missing limbs this year?
Not this year. It was a guy who beat her. She thinks it was the same guy as last year. I do not think it was the same guy.
Well, did he have 2 arms or 1?
He had 2, but you don't know. And we were also saying, because there's 2 different things. There's a kids round and then an adult round. We were, I mean, I was laughing. She wasn't laughing. She was like, "Why do you have these thoughts?" And I thought it would have been funny if, like, the one-armed guy won the adults contest like he did last year. And they give him the $10 gift card, and then they had the kids tournament, but they gave a mechanical arm to the winner. I was like, that would have been awesome.
The irony.
And he was like,
"Damn it, I got in the wrong one."
Yeah, I was too old to win the mechanical arm. And she's like, "You're going to hell." I was like, "Yeah,
that's good." Yeah. That's a good one. I like that.
But yeah, so she's got another one this week, 2 contests this week. So I know that her head's in the game now. She's going to get... It was so funny because it really felt tense. It's never felt tense at one of these contests, but it really felt tense. Like, nobody was saying much. Nobody was cheering much. And at one point I said, like, "Drink your water." And it really sounded aggressive coming from me. And then it also reminded everybody else to drink their water, so I don't think that helped the situation. But yeah, I mean, I'm proud of Megan for continuing to do this, and she's continuing to fight until she wins. And then she's done, and then we don't have to do them. But now we got to keep going back, and we got to keep trying. I'm her hype man. It's what we do. We take pictures of pies, and she eats pies.
I think we'll get her on the show when she wins, against her will, 100% against her
will, and motivation to come on this fantastically produced podcast. But yeah, so that's it. No one-armed man this year, and that's been my week. So crazy week.
Good stuff, man. I wish I had that much to talk about. I really don't, though. Joni and I, we did have a night together yesterday. The girls stayed at my in-laws. We went out and got sushi. So I was just going to ask you, because I don't think we talk about sushi. Where you at on that?
I like it. I don't go too crazy. I don't go in like...
I don't either. I'm more like maki rolls, like the California roll, stuff like that. Like, I don't go hardcore with, like, the big-ass, like, raw fish and everything. I'm kind of a wuss. So I say sushi, but yeah, it's more like the maki rolls,
I used to be the same way, just like not hardcore sushi eater. like you're saying, the stuff that's like cooked already. You're like, is this a hot dog piece in here? Like,
Yeah.
this is
Is that a
fantastic.
glizzy? Hell yeah.
But honestly, I've stopped eating it in general. Like, I'm trying not to consume raw fish, and they're high in sodium too. I'm trying to watch my sodium and that kind of stuff. I still eat it occasionally here and there, but just not too often.
You're watching your sodium as you're trying to double dog glizzies or double fist glizzies.
I didn't eat the rest of the day. I know. I watched the sodium. If I hit my sodium mark, I'm done for the day.
That's good. Your sodium intake for the day. Good stuff. All right, man. Well, sounds like that's all we got to talk about for the week. I guess we should just go ahead and jump into our thumbs up, thumbs down. What are we putting inside ourselves? I'll start off. I only got one thing, and depending on whether or not you watch this is how long I'll talk about it. Did you watch The Bear season 2 yet? Or sorry, season 4. Sorry, season 2.
Not yet. It is on the plan for this week, so hopefully by next week's episode I will have seen them. How many is it? 12 episodes? 10 episodes?
10 episodes, 10. But there's a couple of there's one episode that's an hour. They're mostly they range anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I love this season. This is my that's all I'll say. Okay. I will spoil and say this is my favorite season. Wow. I will go even further, and I don't want to sound like dramatic or anything, but I think and this is the thing, I have one more episode left, so this could completely kill everything. But Sasha, no joke, this is one of my favorite seasons, I think, of television. Based on how much I disliked season 3 of this, the way that they have bounced back. Now there's a lot of people who did like season 3, but I feel like more people we were all on the same page. Just nothing was really established. They tried getting artsy with a lot of, that first episode that was a 30-minute music video, essentially, just a montage. And everyone's like, this show sucks now. But I don't know. I can't say much without giving it away, and I really don't want to, except this is my favorite season. I'm very happy with how things are going. There's been so many times where I'm like, oh, here we go. Oh, no, didn't happen. And the cast is just, I think the acting is phenomenal. They have the one episode. It's not I don't want to say the crazy episode, but where the entire family's together. It's another kind of one of those. But yeah, I've really been enjoying it. Just the Bear season 4.
I'm with you. Season 3 was I didn't mind it, but not much really happened. And it was just kind of all right, well, they did a season of television. If they do another season like that, or another 2 seasons or whatever, I'm out. I'm not going to keep watching if nothing's going to happen. Then I saw that, Rotten Tomatoes or whatever those scores came out, and they were 76% or whatever, and for season 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think that's good. I don't think it's supposed to be higher than that. And then I saw Abby Elliott on Fallon or Seth Meyers, one of those shows, and she was talking about the show and everything, and the clip that they played was not that interesting. And so I've been getting this gut feeling that I'm not going to be happy with season 4, and it is just going to be another, it was a great show early on, and now it's just kind of on the downhill whatever. So for you to say that it is your favorite season or whatever, I am so happy and psyched. Even if I end up disagreeing with you, at least it's okay, well, we'll have something to talk about on that aspect of it.
And I think some people, not to sound weird, because obviously, excuse me, we all like this show. It's got, it's on its 4th season, but I think there's going to be some people who won't like it for the reasons that I do. Because there's a lot of things that are that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to ruin anything. Anyway, if you haven't started season 4 yet, do it. If you haven't started The Bear, look into it. If you want to watch it. I'm not going to say start the show right now because there's a lot of ups and downs, but you watch the show, I know that, so definitely watch season 4.
Cool. And that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, mine. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I've got nothing. I've literally been out and about every single day.
Wow.
And I have not watched anything. I watched maybe 3 episodes of Drew Carey this week. So desperately trying to finish the Drew Carey show. We have 9 episodes left, and it's just dragging. but I should be done with that soon. So I don't have anything thumbs up, thumbs down. So let's get to the top 3.
You know what I do? Actually, the only thing I'll say, the other thing I've been watching, I have watched a couple King of Queens episodes. I've been kind of throwing that on. Not like I've never seen it before, but I mean, it's just when you talk about how much you like it, and then it's like watching, and it's like, Arthur Spooner's a fantastic character. Yeah. Just like, I mean, he's very similar to the character he plays on Seinfeld, but but yeah, great stuff. So, okay, yes, so let's go. We're going to jump into our top commercials. So we're going to start off with, I wanted to start with just our top 3 favorite commercials in general. So these are not like a specific category. These are the ones that pretty much I think were just like off the top of our head. Or maybe it's like, hey, you get to watch 3, I guess that's how it is every week. So I'm going to start this one off. Okay, now we know Geico has had some of the greatest ad campaigns. They've had the Cavemen, they've had Maxwell the Pig. Long before that, though, they had a commercial that was called Tiny House. I don't know if you remember this one. It was a man and a woman, a married couple, and it was like a reality show where they were living in a very small house where like the ceilings were like 5 feet tall, and it was like it was obviously it was like a spoof, like a joke on this thing. But anyway, it's like 2 people, will they survive? And it's like the guy's trying to get laid. It's hilarious, and the girl's just like, we can't even sleep on the bed, and he's all pissed off, and he's like banging on the bed, like hitting the ceiling because it's too low. But yeah, Tiny House for Geico. I mean, like, I'm thinking when you send over the information for the show, I might include links. Actually, maybe I'll just edit it from where you do it, and I'll put links to some of these commercials, because I think some of them people will know what we're talking about, but other ones, or I guess you could just go, YouTube them yourself. But yeah, just Geico Tiny House. It's hilarious, or Small House, or Little House, something like that.
I remember that one, and it also kind of looks like you are in the commercial because you're like filming in a weirdly tiny area of your house or whatever. I do remember that one. Oddly enough, my number 3 is also a Geico commercial.
Okay.
And when you said Geico, I was like, here we go. But here's the thing. I thought this commercial that I'm going to talk about was actually a commercial for something else. Okay. I did some research, and I found out it's actually a Geico commercial. And it is a commercial where a guy calls his parents, I assume, or whoever it is. And he's at the hospital, and he calls his parents, and it's a collect call type situation. And he goes, what's your first name? And he goes, Bob. And what's your last name? And he goes, we had a baby, it's a boy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's trying to tell people that he's pregnant without spending the money to call the people from the payphone,
like so they don't have to accept the collect call.
Exactly. So the dad gets the message and doesn't accept the call, and they save the money, but they got the message. I always thought that was a 1-800-COLLECT commercial.
Okay.
And what a horrible commercial it would be for 1-800-COLLECT. Hey, here's how you can scam us or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it turns out it's a Geico commercial that's like, hey, you want to save money? Don't do this. Just like use this for your insurance or whatever. That's absolutely one of my favorites that always pops into my head if I'm thinking about my favorite commercials.
Okay, my number 2 is an Airwalk commercial. This is like, I don't know if it was 90s, early 2000s, whatever. They used to play it on MTV all the time, though. And it's, like I said, so it's just for Airwalk shoes. And there's a punk show going on, or like a hardcore show, whatever. Something like a show that you and I would definitely be at. And so the crowd's going nuts, everyone's moshing, and there's one guy they're focusing on, and he starts climbing up the speaker tower that's like 30 feet tall. So it just shows him, and this song's still going, and he's slowly going up, and he's looking down at the crowd. So he gets up on the very top of the speaker, and he's like, he's pumping his arms ready to go, the song's going, and then he jumps and he stage dives, and while he's in the air, the singer, it's like, da-da-da-da-da-da, good night, and everyone just disperses like in a matter of seconds, so he's just in the air and just lands on nothing. It's an awesome commercial, obviously, just because the music's good, but also we've been to so many shows and we know that they do not clear out that fast, but it's so funny. It's just in the middle of the song, good night, and the whole band's gone and the whole crowd and everything. So
I remember that one. That is a good one. Are there like they're showing his shoes or something as he's walking up. Is that how they?
Yeah,
like,
probably as he's climbing the ladder, they're like showing
Yeah.
probably the soles and stuff, but showing their airwalks. But yeah, it's hysterical. It's great.
My number 2, I'm going local and local Chicago area, and it is just fantastic. It is the Eagle Man commercials in general.
Like the OG, or just you mean like the whole
OG.
Okay.
The OG, the original. And there's a lot of things that are great about this commercial. One is the bad acting. Mm-hmm. 2 is the fact that there's conventions that go on nowadays that they bring the like 2 women, like they like sign autographs.
Do you have insurance?
Yeah.
What about Mancow? Isn't he in that commercial too?
I don't know if he's in the original one or if they did him later on. But yes, he definitely was in Eagle Man commercials. The noise that the eagle makes when he drops the egg, the boom, is hilarious. And the whoa, look at those low rates.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, it's just absolute classic. If you're from Chicago, I don't know anyone who does not like Eagle Man, who's like angered by the Eagle Man commercials.
It's so funny. Yeah, because I think another staple of those, and it's not on my list, but like the Victory Auto Wreckers one, the one where the guy's door falls off. Like everyone loves that one. Okay, so that's your number 2. All right, so my number 1, my favorite commercial of all time that I can think of. This is an old Sprite commercial, and it's a school day. It's a morning. I don't know if it's a school day. It doesn't matter. There's a mom and there's like 2 kids sitting down having breakfast. And one of the kids like walks up to the fridge and he's like, "Hey, what do we have to drink?" And she's like, "Oh, there's Sun Fizz." And the one kid and the 2 kids together, they're just like, "Sun Fizz, that's our favorite." And then all of a sudden, the mascot on the bottle comes to life and jumps off, and he's like, "That's 'cause I'm made of nature." And he gets all happy, and the mom and the kids scream in horror because it's like, it's so good. It's like, yeah, it's one of those like it's a Sprite commercial, like I said, but it ends with this little son chasing these kids and the mom down the hallway, and the mom trips over a broom, and it does the thing where she's reaching her arm out and she's like, "Run!" So it's just hysterical. But yeah, it's like I said, when the kids call for Sun Fizz and then the little thing jumps off, that like you think of like Sunny Delight or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it has one. Oh, this one is so funny. Like it might be 7-Up, and I'm pretty sure it's Sprite. But yeah, it's just it's so good. I mean, like, yeah, because it's supposed to be all fun with this little cartoon character, and the mom and kids react how like people would actually react. It's so good. So yes, like I said, it's either Sprite or 7-Up, but I just call it Sun Fizz for the commercial name.
My number 1, also a beverage, but we're going Budweiser commercials.
Okay.
This is a commercial where a friend is talking to his buddy on the phone, and then another friend calls up, and and everybody, and then somebody rings the buzzer to come to the apartment, and everybody's just going "Wada."
So you really like that one, huh?
I love that so much. I love using that on a regular basis still to this day to people, and it catches on. You'll talk to somebody, you'll go "What up," and then they'll go, "Oh yeah, what up?" Like the people still know it and remember it, and it's just like fun, funny, a good time. Yeah, that's got to be my favorite. I'm sure there's more favorites, but like just off the top of your head, that one definitely. Like Budweiser, the frogs was a solid one too.
Mm-hmm. We could go for like if just beer categories was one of them. But all right, so do you have any bottoms? I just have one that immediately came to my head, and it is 1877 Cars for Kids.
Oh, that's a good one.
187. You know what? And the funny thing is, because when that commercial came out, I thought that was local. I thought that was like a Chicago thing. And then I was watching The Good Place one time, and when they're in the bad place, which is hell, there's always like hilarious references, and they're just like, "All right, everyone, let's sing our motivational song," and they all start singing 1877 Cars for Kids because it's so bad. Elf. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Are you still talking about this one?
No, you know what? I was just going to say, Alf from Elmec, I'm sure you're listening. There was one time, because he used to be my boss at a restaurant when I worked there. One of the younger kids, or I think Mike had the Sox game on, Alf, sorry. And that song came on, and just the reaction from the kids who had never heard it, like at the restaurant, because like we listened to sports radio all the time, and it was always on there. But yeah, people's reactions like, what the fuck is this?
Radio has some of the worst commercials, because it's like a totally different way that you're communicating to people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever heard those, like the foreign grandma commercial. It's like for some bank or something, and they talk to a grandma, and she's like Greek or whatever, and she doesn't understand the words, so she's always like just Greekifying it or whatever. I don't know. It's offensive in many ways, and it is not.
And there's
funny.
the one too where you remember like Max Madsen when it was like, "Hello, this is the doctor." It's like, what are we doing here? You know, it's like all those shows you would hear are those songs on ESPN 1000 and 670. It's like, it's great stuff.
Where are you at on JD Wentworth?
JD Wentworth. 876. Yeah, I don't know. I guess good jingle, great jingle.
It's just so annoying. It's like I can't believe how annoying these are. I don't really have any like worsts, but I do have a couple potent notables. Any commercial with Boban Marjanovic, who's a Serbian basketball player who's like 7'4". I don't know if you've seen the Goldfish
a lot of commercials.
The what?
Oh, no, go on. I'm sorry. I thought you were being, like, facetious. It's like, this guy's actually in commercials.
No. He's, like, charismatic, and, like, everybody loves him. He's in these Goldfish commercials where they're trying to be like, yeah, just take a handful. But he's 7'4", 300 pounds. So he, like, busts through their thing and just like, has a massive... Whatever. It's hilarious, and he's Serbian, obviously. So there's pride there or whatever. Another Geico commercial... where it's a caveman one, where he's like on one of those airport, what do you call those things? Would you stand?
Yeah, it's like it's a turnstile, right?
All right.
No. The turnstile is when you're getting on the It's like an elevator, but it's like the flat ones.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the band Turnstile? I don't know.
Yeah, we've talked about them a couple times on here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. So the caveman's on one of those like conveyor belt things and is just taking him wherever. And then the music is like, it's like a cool little dance song that's going on. And then he goes by an ad that says, "So easy a caveman can do it." Yep. And then you see him kind of walking backwards on the thing and looking, and he's so disappointed.
He's walking in pace, and he's just like, because he like slowly comes back, and that's a good one, because good. So go ahead.
The music is like, "And everywhere I go," it's just like this cool song. It's just so good. They did so good with the caveman stuff.
Yep.
And then there's one deep cut commercial. It's a crazy commercial. It's very good. It's kind of like a weird one, like your number one was. It's a Tide commercial where this guy's at a job interview, and like he's talking to the guy. The guy's interviewing him. They're going back and forth, and the guy has a stain on his shirt. And so the guy who's interviewing him keeps looking at the stain, but the stain is talking, like it has a mouth, and it's like, and then it just keeps getting louder and louder and more aggressive, and then it's like, don't let your stain, distract people from your shirt or whatever. But it's just such a creepy, weird commercial. If you can like seek that one out, I think it's worth taking a look. Okay, but yeah, that's all my potent notables.
All right, I just put for my potent notables. I literally have put everything Geico, and then I put in parentheses caveman mostly, and then also the Progressive commercials recently. Just it was off the top of my head. I love that crew too. I think Flo and those guys are hilarious, like Jamie and stuff.
What about Liberty Mutual, Limu Imu?
Oh, love those. Actually, those are probably my favorite ones. The one with the giant when they were in the parade. Did you see that one when like the balloon face was like right up against the window, and it was kind of showing like when people are working how terrifying it probably is. But yeah, and then it just like it pops and he wakes up and she's like, "You have this dream every morning?" Yep. The Liberty Mutual ones are great. All right, so all right, now let's see here. So you picked Giuseppe sent us in 5 different topics to pick from. I misread what you said, so I did one for all 5 of these, but some of them aren't very good, so I'm not going to do all 5. You did 2 of them. Which 2 did you do again? Or do you want to just go ahead and start with one?
Yeah, I'll start with one. How about infomercials? Did you do any for infomercials?
You can have this one. Like I said,
Okay.
I think I kind of was reaching on this one, so I'll do a different category. But go ahead.
I'll do some infomercial ones here. Top three. Number three, I'm going to go with kind of a tie, but they're similar commercials if you ask me. The medic alert, like I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
Along with the clapper commercials, where it's just, to clap and have the lights go on. They're kind of in the same vein, but they're like old school, and they kind of remind me of some of the first infomercials that I remember. Also, honestly, I don't even know if these count as infomercials. I think they do.
I did see the clapper was listed as an infomercial. I remember it more as just the quick commercial, clap on, clap off the clapper. But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's infomercials for everything.
Yeah. Number two for me is shake weights.
Okay. Yeah.
One of the funniest commercials. I mean, they weren't trying, but that's one of the funniest commercials you've ever seen. It's just a bunch of women who are just like, yeah, this is fantastic. It's like they're eating glizzies aggressively. Absolutely one of the funniest things. It's like, was anybody filming those? All right, so I don't know how you feel about this, but like sometimes I hear people say stuff, and like you do it too. In your mind, you go, "That's what she said." That's kind of like the tamer version of it. But sometimes it'll be something that's like super dirty, and I want to say something, but I know it's definitely not appropriate for like the people that I'm around or whatever.
Yeah.
So I just keep it in my head. And then you find out that there's like normal people who like would absolutely never think the way that you do about certain words or certain actions or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you think anybody in those shake weights commercials was like, I can't do this? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm pretty sure every one of them was until they said you're going to get paid. Because I think whoever came up with that in their mind was just like, well, you know what? This is definitely going to stand out. And we're going to do this, So I'm sure there were, a couple of those unfortunate women who were probably like, you know what? My husband's going to leave me after he sees this. But
well, that's when I'm watching that commercial, and I do on a daily basis. Towards the end, they show like 10 different women, and they're all like, like showing how strong they are and everything. And I'm like, do they know, like, that everybody else is like,
yeah, they know, looking
at this in a certain way, or do they not? Are they just completely oblivious and like, I'm making money and look at me, I'm a commercial actor? I don't know. But anyway, that's my number two.
Okay.
And then my number one, I think this counts, but Girls Gone Wild. Come on.
That's a good one. That's a good
absolutely the infomercial of the century for people guys my age probably.
Oh yeah.
You buy Miami, you get Myrtle Beach free. You get all these different things.
It's like buy one tape, get 10 free.
Yeah, and it was just constantly on. That guy ended up going to jail, surprisingly, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, what? Someone of this magnitude?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Girls Gone Wild, it came out at a certain time. But, it sticks in my mind.
Well, let's not forget about its counterpart from Arrested Development, Girls with Low Self-Esteem.
That's true. Even better.
Getting it right out there. Even
better.
Okay, let me...
I do also have two that I really hate. The Snuggie, okay. I think it's the worst thing ever. Megan's got 3 of them or something, and I'm like, okay, I just hate them. They stink. Not literally, but just figuratively. Okay. And then, like, the pajama jeans.
I don't think I've seen those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was an infomercial too. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking of products that I hate or something.
Okay.
But, yeah, so that's mine.
Jeans, nice. That's so funny though, because I actually, for my infomercials, like one of them was Tybo with Billy Blanks. I just always liked that one. And then I did put down Snuggie, and it was only because our friend Kenny, haven't talked to him in a while, but anyway, I remember I was with him years back, and the Snuggie commercial came on, and it was like, are you tired of, and it was basically like putting a blanket on, It was one of those. And it's just so funny because they're asking a question and he's just like, no, like the way he answered so angrily, like, no, I will put a blanket on. It's fine. Okay. All right. So I'm the category I'm going to jump to. And I think you did this one too. like TV parodies. I just wrote down, fake commercials basically from TVs or movies. So it could be a product or just whatever. So my number 3, this is an obscure one. I don't know if anyone will know this movie. UHF with Weird Al Yankovic. This movie came out in the 80s. Very, very obscure movie. But anyway, there is a commercial for a place called Spatula City in that. And is literally a, like, Myers-sized building that literally only sells spatulas. So, yeah, it's like Spatula City. We love spatulas. Ding, and that's all. So, Spatula City. Number 2 is this is a double combo.
Hold on, I got 3. I got 3 too.
Oh, okay. Oh, so all right. So we'll go back and forth then. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. When you said that actually reminded me of another one that's. So all of mine are SNL related because that's what I think of when I think of parody commercials or whatever.
Okay.
The Spatula City one that you just said reminded me of one that Scarlett Johansson always does. There's one that she did where they just sell chandeliers, but she's from New Jersey, so that she's like, we sell chandeliers.
Yeah.
And it's just like constant talking about that, and then there's another one about like water fountains or whatever. But anyway, my number 3 is a Tim Robinson and Kevin Hart sketch from SNL. I don't know if you've ever seen Z Shirt.
No.
So I think the company name is called like Zappy or something like that or whatever, and they're selling Z shirts, and it's kind of like a cool 1980s like T-shirt, fisheye camera angle, like whatever, and and it's Kevin Hart, and he's just like, "Is it an A shirt?" And Tim Robinson's like, "No." "Is it a B shirt?" "No, man." "Is it a C shirt?" And so he goes through
all the way
entire
to Z.
alphabet, and halfway through, Tim Robinson is like, "No, man, there's a Z on the shirt." And so they're just like arguing about it or whatever. But it's just like one of those. It's kind of like an early peek at Tim Robinson. I think you should leave stuff. So
okay,
great commercial, and Kevin Hart's really, really good in it as well.
All right, so my number 2 is, this is like a double punch from Parks and Rec, just because I didn't want to split them up. Paunch Burger and then the Wamapoke Casino. These are episodes that I believe air in season 7, which is where I'm at in my podcast review. But anyway, there's like kind of a gimmicky episode where they're doing like a game show thing. So they actually show like a 30-second Paunch Burger, which is like it's like a disgusting restaurant that's in the town of Pawnee, and then the Wamapoke Casino with their awesome slogan, "Our slots are downright filthy." So, yeah, that's my number 2.
Okay. My number 2 is a fake United Way commercial. It's like a mentoring commercial or whatever, and it features Peyton Manning. And so it shows Peyton Manning, and they're like, the United Way has Peyton Manning to teach the kids, like whatever, leadership skills and blah, blah, blah. So he's like playing like football with children or whatever. And he's quarterback. And so he like,
yeah.
And then he just starts pegging the kid. He's like whipping the ball. It's hitting kids in the back. This one kid doesn't get up. He's like, I think he's really hurt. He sends one of the kids to the porta potty because of like the bad route that he ran or whatever. He's teaching little kids how to like break into cars and stuff like that, and getting them tattoos or whatever. So it's funny to see like the opposite, Peyton Manning mentoring but in his own like rude way or whatever. Classic SNL skit.
Great stuff. All right, so my number 1 then comes from Scary Movie 2. Actually, I was about to reference Scary Movie 1 a second ago when you were talking about what's that, because there was a part in that where they actually do one of those. I think they were like the first movie to actually spoof that. But either way, all right, so from Scary Movie 2, which I know you said you haven't seen, there's a part where Marlon Wayans is he's like smoking a joint and he's getting ready to go to bed, and he pops on and there's an infomercial on TV, but it's not again, I guess this would be confusion of infomercials. Like, do those CD commercials count as infomercials, the ones where the songs are like scrolling up, where it's just like, you get all these songs on one amazing disc? All right, so anyway, so in this, he's watching this movie, and he's watching this commercial, and it's called Hip Hop Christmas. So Of course, like, all the song names are just, like, completely off the wall. Like, there's a couple of them I'm not even going to say because the podcast might get shut down. But there's some of the song names. All I Want for Christmas is The Charges Dropped. Jingle Balls. Annie Up, Bitch, It's Christmas. D's Nuts Roasted on an Open Flame. Frosty the Dope Man. Yeah, there's a couple other ones that, I don't want to say. But it's a really funny scene. And then he ends up getting, like, smoked by a giant pot leaf. It's really weird. But, yeah, so
okay,
that's my number one.
My number one, they made a couple of these on SNL. They featured Jason Sudeikis and Nassim Petarad, who was not there for too long. But anyway, they're both very funny together. It's called the Underground Festival. It's like even more underground than an underground festival.
Ooh.
They kind of look like juggalos, you know what I mean? Like they're very just, I don't know, you know what I mean when I say juggalos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So they go through like what's going to be at the festival. And so there's a lot of like, you know, parody band names. There's like Mrs. Potato Dick is one of the best ones.
Nice.
And they just go through all these different bands, you know, Tongue Rot and whatever and blah, blah, blah. And they go, also, there's going to be a field of alligators that you have to run through to use the porta potty. Or what? It's just like that, like continuing on the absurdity of it.
Yeah.
And then they'll also throw in like, and Third Eye Blind, like just as a side stage or whatever. And one of my favorite parts about it is they always cut to like the memorial of Ass Dan, and it's just what's his name? The guy who plays Drunk Uncle. Forget his name. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He plays Ass Dan, and so they're like, and now we're also going to have the memorial service for Ass Dan, and every time they cut to him, his like catchphrase is, I'm going to live forever, and then the screen goes to a still, and it's like, you know, like the Undertaker bell ringing, and just rest in peace, Ass Dan, or whatever. But yeah, so absolutely fantastic, and I think they made like 3 or 4 different ones, and I think like Third Eye Blind made the cut for all of them as well. So that's my number one. So that's all of the commercial stuff that I have. So if you have the other ones you want to go through, by all means, let's do them.
Okay, first off, it's Bobby Moynihan's who we were talking about.
Bobby Moynihan.
Yeah, got to me. I wrote down 4 SNL commercials that I thought I thought at least one of these would be on there, because actually Elf from Melmac texted me earlier in the week. It's just really funny. We happen to be, you know what? Now that I think of it, this is probably why he sent me this commercial, because of the podcast. But he sent me the commercial for Crystal Clear Gravy. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, hey, with Van Halen. And then we also, me and him were talking about Colon Blow, which is the one with the cereal where one box was equal to like 10,000 boxes of total.
And
Swill.
They show, is it Phil Hartman who's in it? And then
he's on the pile of them. Yeah, it's one box and then it raises up to 10,000. Swill, remember that? That was like the disgusting shit that was like at the bottom of the ocean. It was literally just that. It was like a clear like goo, like it would be in like a little what are those carafes, and they're like pouring it out into a cup, and you see like one of those plastic pop lids, or the thing that holds them together, you know, the pop cans, like one of those falls out. And then the other one I had was Schmidt's Gay, which is maybe the best one with Sandler and Farley.
Yeah, I like them all, and but it's just like I've seen them so much that I think it probably has taken some of the greatness away from see it like originally or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't go wrong when he does the glasses, you know, like whoa.
Yeah. Well, I also love when he's got the video camera and then the other one just kind of pushes it over at the guy's crotch. It's great stuff. Okay, so I have 2 other ones I did. I'll do them quickly. Most out of place celebrity spokesperson. Giuseppe did put in parentheses for his example. Think George Foreman, you know, sponsoring a grill. So for this one, at first I was thinking infomercials. You know, I'm thinking like Suzanne Summers, you know, for the Thigh Master or whatever. But then I was just kind of like, you know what, any person who stars in a commercial is technically a spokesperson for that. So I started looking at commercials because that's what we're doing. The first one, I don't know if you remember these ones. These were Nike ads, probably from the 90s, and it was with Dennis Hopper, the actor.
Oh, wow.
And the one that came to my mind, it's like he's on a beach. And it was so weird because, you know Dennis Hopper, correct? The guy from Speed?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So he looked like a homeless man in all these commercials, and he would just be... All right, so the one that like came to my mind, it was Junior Seau. You remember him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like... He's on a beach. Yeah, rest in peace. He's on a beach, and he like builds a stadium of the Charger Stadium. He's like, this is where Junior Seau plays, and some guy comes running by on the beach, and it's Junior Seau. Either way, he's just like, that's Junior Seau, man. I just even remember back then that it was like, why is Dennis Hopper in these commercials? So Dennis Hopper being in Nike NFL commercials was really weird to me even back then. And then right now, actually... he's probably not the wrong person for this because he's like a beautiful man, but those Johnny Depp Sauvage commercials for his cologne are fucking awful. Have you seen any of these where he's like playing the guitar? It's literally think November Rain. Like think Slash when he says, fuck it, I'm going outside to play my guitar. That's like what these Johnny Depp commercials are like, you know, like shirt open and yeah, it's like Sauvage. Like some I don't know. I love Johnny Depp, nothing against him, but these commercials suck. All right. And then another example he gave, which was just like favorite product packaging, like in-store advertising, I guess. I thought bubble tape was an awesome one. Just the way they sold it in that little canister. Like, so literally, remember you would pop that and you could just pull the gum out itself and then there was a little thing to clip it. Also their slogan, which was great. It's like, it's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them. So that was awesome. Ring pops. I just thought that design was incredible. Like just that big ass ring on your finger. Plus it was a huge sucker essentially. Yeah. And then Big League Chew, which essentially just promoted chewing tobacco for children.
Usage,
yeah.
Well, it's like the candy cigarettes of the new generation.
Yeah. Yeah, which are just vapes.
Yeah.
And then I also, for the last one, I put Pringles just because I love the stacked, like the clean design of the can.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything that comes to mind for those. Nothing for the product design one. For the spokesperson, it's like Shaq for anything that Shaq does, like the insurance commercials or whatever.
Yeah,
like
Joni thought that for Papa John's at first, but then I was like, pizza's too general of a thing. I think anyone could do pizza. But yeah, him doing the general, those commercials, yeah that's pretty weird. I did have one of the other categories he did. I just have one. He said the commercials that actually succeeded in making us buy the product. I talked about it last summer, so about a year ago on this podcast, but I bought one of those stand-up weed puller things, the one where you just stick it right in the ground, and it worked awesome. It was very satisfying seeing it pull the weed, but it just leaves gaping holes in your lawn. Like literally, I mean like just big ass holes. So I guess if you're walking around doing that and then you're filling everyone with seeds, great, but so it's a product, it works, but yeah, it screws up your lawn. So, but yeah, commercials, baby.
All right, well then next week, because we're always late to the party, next week we're gonna do our top 3 favorite and least favorite things about the 4th of July.
Yes.
So this could be, literally anything. 4th of July is this upcoming weekend, so we'll have some time to take some notes on what's going on in our neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Should we say the best top and bottom 3 things about this 4th of July, or just mean in general specific? The holiday? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not do. I don't know. My 4th of July probably won't be anything. I might not have a top or bottom 3 if it's based on this one. So maybe we'll do both.
Well, if anybody has any 4th of July based topics that you want to suggest to us, please let us know, because we're open to audibling some stuff during the week while we're getting ready.
Absolutely.
To do this stuff. So leave us a message, text us or call us 1-727-266-6469. That's 1 Sasha 666-469. You can text or leave a message on there, and you can send pictures of glizzies that look like what was that?
Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, yes.
Harvey Two-Faced Dent.
So yeah, send us anything that you want. Otherwise, we're gonna come up with something 4th of July related, and
make sure Well, actually, sorry. Make sure just when we ask you guys these things throughout the week, try to get them in like before Sunday because we record on Sundays. So,
good call.
Yeah, if you can do that, then we can cater to like Giuseppe. He sent his in early, and we're just like, you know what, this is perfect. Also, we're not going to let that guy down ever again.
And by the way, we might do another one on Zoom of these, so we might let you all down, or at least ourselves. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.